welcome to the Sailing My Magic channel. My name is Duke and I am solo sailing Magic, my 2015 Lagoon Catamaran, around the world. A noteworthy part of Fiji's history is how far back it goes. The legends say that the first Fijians landed at this point where there's now a first landing beach and resort. They built an artificial island there in the shape of a footprint. As you enter the resort, there's a garden/jungle sort of atmosphere going in. Geologists now say that people were on the Fijian archipelago as early as 2,000 years before Christ. This is that first landing footprint-shaped island as seen from the shore. Since Columbus landed in America 500 years ago, this is a remarkable for landing in Fiji.
I never thought the love would be making one as this as she, but isn't she lovely, made from love?
The first landing resort has an open-air arts and crafts market on certain Saturdays. Beautiful crafts are done there. They have jewelry, nice people, and artists does fantastic paintings, I think, clothing, all sorts of things. I think a visit to the Fiji Cultural Village is worthwhile. It gives you an opportunity to compare how things were in the past and the costumes, as well as the artwork from the past. The islands themselves have chieftains, just as they have always had. There are certain reenactments of things, so you can see some traditional dress and dancing and singing. That's often in places like the Cultural Village, which is set up to show you what it used to be like in Fijian villages. They do songs and dances there with traditional costumes, and you can see what an old-fashioned traditional house was like. And they have the war clubs and paddles. You can get in and see what it's like inside one of the rattan rooms and see pictures of what the original Fijians were like. See some of the men doing the dances. One thing you'll notice there is there's a fiber cloth that's printing on it. It's used for both clothing and for artwork. It's a very traditional thing. They have their own form of a luau. It's not quite buried as much as some of them you've seen, but basket weaving and other weaving is a fine art in Fiji. The kava ceremony is still a traditional thing that goes on in everyday life. Kava ceremony is used for many different ceremonies as well as greeting people. You take your sip and then clap. These are traditional weapons. On the far right, the paddle and axes are both the same thing, so it's easier. Turtles were a great source of meat back in the day, not any longer. They're protected now. They will demonstrate traditional activities for you, and there's very interesting photographs of what the people looked like in the past, their traditional dress and the war clubs. You notice they have the same kind of clubs, and you get the craftsmen that make these things in their traditional manner. And yet at the little art fair, they have other things for the tourists. They have suggestions of how things were for traditional arts and crafts. That's not to say the new stuff isn't difficult to create, but tourists like different things. If you're on vacation, maybe you just want to sit back and enjoy the music.
Just got it better on me. What is to be? Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Stand by me. In the sky, below born. Toggle and walk.
First Landing also has some fine examples of inlaid tile work. There was a manta ray and a sergeant fish and a clownfish, octopus, so all sorts of things, a sea turtle.
Hola.
And they also have examples of these triangular-headed statues. If you remember in Polynesia, they had bulgy heads and big eyes. It turns out that not many people have subscribed to my channel yet. They would send you an email telling you when a new video comes out. It's totally free, and then I don't have to send a notice by hand. On the east side of the main island is the island of Ovalau, and on that has Levauka, and that was the old colonial. It's a small seaside town, and from the ocean you can see a white memorial there. That's a World War I memorial for the soldiers that didn't make it back from the war. It's a general burial spot, and there's interesting architecture. Several places there are steep steps going up the hill. That's the old Masonic Lodge. The Masons were a big thing during the 1800s especially. You might doubt the size of the storms that come through, but you can see from this that hurricanes can throw even a big ship up on the rocks. Very interesting, and it's there for everyone to see. This was to commemorate a visit from the Prince of Wales in 1970 from their independence. There's another one of those step paths that goes down. I love the architecture of this building. It looks like it used to be a church, but I didn't get a chance to explore it. You have some lovely sunsets there. This appears to be the church that is in use now. They still do use the Polynesian canoes around here, sometimes just for sport. This is a Levauka homestay. And you can see those old steps going up the hills because they're such steep hills. But now it's time for the sundowner. Enjoy.